How's it going, guys? Welcome back. Clock's on the stove. Starting off bowl season today, Friday, December 17th. It's bowl season. We had an unbelievably awesome year of college football. It's very sad that it comes to an end, but the end is pretty damn fun. You know, we get to watch some bowling happen, see some kids make some dreams turn into realities. It's very exciting. We're going to break through this bowl mania real quick. Normal host, myself, Grayson Fisher. We got Big Meech, Roland Foerster in the building. And then arguably one of the greatest high school quarterbacks of all time, just ended his college career. Thank you for coming on with us, Nicholas Tronti.
Of course, appreciate you guys having me on. I'm ready to talk some ball.
So let's just dive right on into it. First game's today at 12. Probably going to miss it by the time this gets posted. But we got MTSU 6-6, Toledo 7-5 in the Bahamas Bowl. Toledo's a minus 10.5. I don't know anything about either one of these teams. I know FAU played MTSU, but I'm going to lean towards Toledo. Just going with the odds. What do y'all think about this one?
I just saw some shit on Twitter about Toledo football. So I know Middle Tennessee is always getting trashed up by FAU. So minus 10.5 Toledo might just send $100 on that real quick.
Saying, Johnny?
Yeah, I'm big on Toledo this game. We played Middle Tennessee in the last game of the year. They've been through like 3 quarterbacks here. I think they're on like their third one. Offense, not very good. Defense, not very good either. Good run stoppers. But, yeah, I mean, Toledo, I'm pretty sure Toledo, did they win the MAC? They might have won the MAC. They didn't. Who won the MAC?
Northern Illinois won it.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I think Toledo wins this game. I mean, I didn't think Middle Tennessee really had any business being in a bowl game. We 100% should have beat them, but we weren't very good this year either. So, yeah, I'm going Toledo. I don't know if it'll be 10.5, but I'm going Toledo.
Yeah, I also don't know if it'll be 10.5, but I always kind of like Toledo because I don't know about you guys, but like I'm born and raised in Tampa, so like there's always like a pocket schools that have like a bunch of Tampa kids, like Indiana, Toledo. So like I always kind of cheer on for teams like that just because like I don't even know those kids personally, but just because they came from Tampa, you know, it's kind of cool to see a bunch of Tampa kids on the roster. But yeah, Toledo for sure. Next game, it's kind of an interesting game. We got, like you were saying, MAC champion Northern Illinois coming in at 9-4, playing Coastal Carolina coming in at 10-2 in the Tail Greeter Cure Bowl. That is also tonight at 6 p.m. Coastal Carolina coming in at a minus 11. Meech, you want to start us off on this one?
The Cure Bowl? I will not be watching this. I think I saw Northern Illinois play at the Boca Bowl one year, but Coastal's pretty good. I don't know. You know, I couldn't name a player on each team, but I think I'm going to go with Coastal Carolina.
Oh, yeah, Johnny?
Just because the
Yeah, I'm probably going to ride the Coastal Carolina train as well. Northern Illinois, I watched a little bit of them this year. They got a quarterback, Rocky Lombardi, transfer from Michigan State. He's had a pretty good year. I watched Coastal play a couple times. I saw him play against Kansas early in the season. They got a really talented quarterback. Northern Illinois really picked it up towards the end of their season, but I like Coastal, man. I like Coastal to take this one pretty handily.
Yeah, so it was kind of sad to see Coastal even lose games this year because, you know, they had such a historic season last year. Then they got upset by Liberty at the very end right before going out undefeated. You know, they had that awesome shootout with BYU during that COVID year. I would say that Coastal Carolina was probably, if not one of the most talked about programs in football last year. Just due to all the circumstances and everything going on with COVID, it was kind of like Cincinnati this year. Everything kind of favored into their way, you know. So I was really looking forward to them coming out and maybe possibly going undefeated this year. Obviously didn't happen. But I'm going to be honest. I think the MAC is absolute doo-doo. And I think Coastal Carolina is going to run through them. I think Grayson McCall is one of the greatest quarterbacks in his conference in the Sun Belt. And I just think there's a way better team. Obviously, NIU is going to come at them with everything they have. You know from experience with the bowl game, you bring a little extra chip to it. You have more time to prepare. So they're definitely not going to get blown out in the beginning, but I don't see them hanging 4 quarters of Coastal Carolina football, in my opinion. Next up, we have – what were you about to say, Meech?
No, the MAC is absolute doo-doo.
Yeah,
They're
it's,
like the conference for fucking Ohio shitty little schools. It's like every school in Ohio is just in one conference. They're just like, let's make the MAC. And then up in the Northeast, there's the MAAC, and we got a bunch of shitty schools too.
Who's that? Like Central Connecticut? Are they in that conference?
Yeah. What the heck? My
Sacred
little
Heart?
brother, and that's the
Sacred
school
Heart?
he goes to.
Right here.
Central.
That's awesome. Now, this next game, I actually think is a very interesting game. It's not going to be, if you're not a big college football guy, it's not going to be a game that you're hooked up on all week. But if you are big in college football, this is a game that you definitely want to check out. And I'm going to let you start off the roll with this one, Tronti. But we got Western Kentucky coming in at 8-5, playing App State coming in at 10-3 in the roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl, which is Saturday, tomorrow, 12/18. At 11 a.m., App State coming in at a -3. Tronti, what are you thinking about this game?
Yeah, this is a really interesting game. Both teams really good teams. Obviously, Western Kentucky went to the Conference USA Championship this game, came up short. Their quarterback's an absolute stud. I think he's a fifth-year guy who's transferred in. I mean, they're total air raid. They throw the ball almost every down. The only thing I'll say about this game, and App State's got a really good quarterback too, transferred from Duke. He was at Clemson before that. They can run the shit out of the ball. The only thing I'll say about this game is that Western Kentucky doesn't have their coordinator for the game. He took the job at Texas Tech as the coordinator there. And, I mean, Western Kentucky brought in a whole new offense this year. That's why they were so good throwing the ball and why their numbers were so big on offense. So this is really tough for me to pick, but I'm going to go with App State just because West Kentucky had the chance to win the championship. They lost. I think they're kind of over their season now, and they don't have a coordinator for this game. So I'm going App State.
Yeah, I like the points you made there. So when I was originally, because I'm in a little quick backstory. My dad's a school teacher, right? So him and all the teachers at his school, they do a bowl picks, like sheet. You put $10 in, you take the pot home. If you win, you get your money back. You take second. I've been doing it every year since I was in like 7th grade, 6th grade, because I'm a college football nerd. And this was one of the hardest games for me to pick, to be honest. And I know it doesn't sound like a game that people are gonna be like, I don't understand. I don't even care about these teams. But like, if you really dive into it, bro, you look at Western Kentucky. Bailey Zapp's the quarterback, right? He played at Houston Baptist Central University last year, a Division II team. He broke every single record they had. He broke every NCAA Division II record in football. The kid is the literal definition of a gunslinger. You know,
Yeah.
The ball touches his hands, it's zooming. 56 touchdowns on 11 picks. If he throws 4 touchdowns in this game, he ties Joe Burrow's NCAA record for most touchdowns in a season. The kid is a slinger, man. Is a slinger. Then you look over on the other side, right? You look at App State. App State is 10-3, and 2 of those losses are Louisiana. 2 of their losses are Louisiana, and one's a loss at Miami that they should have won. They also beat Coastal Carolina. Right? So we're looking at a really tough App State team versus a really high-powered Western Kentucky offense. So I'm looking through the statistics. I'm like, oh, dude, App State gives up over 200 passing yards a game. That's definitely not going to work in their favor. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to turn into a shootout. I think that this super pass-heavy offense isn't going to work against App State's defense. I think they're going to shut it down quick, and then it's going to turn to real-life football, which is having to run to set up the pass, having to call plays, and Western Kentucky just doesn't do that. I think App State is going to have to come in and play a little ugly. They're going to have to play a little physical. Their corner is going to have to clamp down. They're going to have to really emphasize shutting down this pass game fast. And at the same time, I don't see Western Kentucky's defense touching their offense. You know, I got App State, but I do think it'll be a close one. I have App State in a close one for sure.
Yeah, I got no idea. I kind of wish I was going to the game. App State's pretty lit, but like the 2 best teams, 2 challenges they had, they lost. So like they haven't really beaten anyone good, right? Am I wrong?
Well, they beat
They have a
Coastal
couple
Carolina.
losses.
They upset Coastal Carolina, and then they.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I had it reversed. I thought they lost Coastal.
No, they lost to Louisiana twice, and then
all right.
Miami.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so I mean, it should be a good game. I wish I was going to it. 11 a.m. at the Boca Raton Bowl. That's kind of weird, but that's cool. I don't know. We'll see. Should be a good one.
Yeah, I think it'll be a fun.
But I got App State for sure.
100%. Yeah. Next, we got UTEP coming in at 7. Also Saturday, the 18th. UTEP coming in at 7-5. Fresno State coming in at 9-3. Fresno State is this is the PUBG Mobile New Mexico Bowl. I hate myself for even saying that.
PUBG?
Yeah, and it's Fresno State minus 11.5. I'm gonna ride that all day. I think Fresno State is a very legitimate team this year. Hanner, whatever you say his name, absolute stud of a quarterback. 32 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, dude. And this Fresno State team overall was extremely solid, dude. Like they come out, they barely lose to Oregon. All right, then they beat a UCLA team who was coming off that hot roll off of LSU. Then they somehow get upset by Hawaii, and then have a pretty damn good season after that, beating San Diego State. You know, like they were that team that was like a couple little things didn't go their way, and they were almost an undefeated season going into the top 15, arguably 15th team. You know, I always liked Fresno State. I've always been a fan of their program. Something cool about them, they wear a green V on their helmet for the Valley because they don't have any pro sports there. So that is like their community's like pro team. So they do have a big following. I don't know absolute anything about UTEP, but their quarterback, Hardison, has 17 touchdowns for 12 interceptions. I just think Fresno State's going to overwhelm them. And I think this is one of those bowl games that was just like put together because they both accepted it and it really wasn't matched up well.
UTEP is kind of nice, dude. But I heard Fresno State is low-key like the best party school in the country, but it's like kept under wraps. People that go there just know it's fucking lit because there's nothing else to do there out in wine country, California. But I think UTEP, they're one of those groups that went with FAU moving on to the American. So I heard there's a lot of UTEP fans on Twitter always talking like they're so good. So
that's UTSA, Meech.
Yeah, you're mixing them up.
Wrong team.
Same shit. UTEP, UTSA, but you're definitely right. UTEP are the minors, Texas El Paso.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Shows how much I care about the fucking PUBG New Mexico Bowl. Won't be watching that either. But you missed the Celebration Bowl, Jackson State, which I don't know if you're going to get to. That's before this.
I feel like that's just kind of a run. Jackson State's going to just kind of run through that anyways.
Yeah, well, that's a big one I wanted to talk about because they just got like the best corner recruit, some kid from Florida State that decommitted and went to go play for Prime.
Yeah, we'll touch back on that, but your pick for this bowl.
Fresno State, just because I mixed them up. Sorry, UTEP and UTSA.
Tronti, what are we thinking?
Yeah, I'm going Fresno State, double digits here. UTEP really, they were, I think they were 6-0 or something. They really didn't play anybody good. They got blown out by UTSA. We beat them pretty good. Fresno State, they just lost their coach. He went to Washington. That always kind of gives you a little extra motivation going into a bowl game. So, yeah, I got Fresno State by double digits.
Yo, and thank you for reminding me about that. I forgot he went to Washington. And something that's crazy is what we were just talking about. Hainer, the quarterback at Fresno State, transferred to Fresno State from Washington.
Oh, really? That's weird.
Yeah, so Edwards, like, is he going to go back? Is he going to stay? Yeah,
they just got Michael Penix from Tampa, your boy.
That's right. They did. Yes. So he's definitely not going.
Yeah.
Could I throw in something? Tiger Woods teed off at 9 a.m. this morning. He's back. Well, not really. He's in the PNC championship with his son. So I don't really know how that's going. But just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Yeah, dude, this college football transfer, it's literally like a NFL free agency.
Wild.
It's still hard to follow.
It is free agency. It's exactly what it is.
But next game, we got the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl between UAB coming in at 8-4 and BYU, number 13 team in the country, coming in at 10-2. BYU a -6.5 favorite. I have not watched a single snap of either one of these teams this season, so I'm just going to go with BYU, assuming they played a harder schedule, and they're probably a better team.
Yeah, UAB got a really good defense. We played them this year. Okay offense. BYU I didn't get to see a ton of. I mean, yeah, I don't know a whole bunch about BYU this year. Considering they played a tougher schedule. I think it might be closer than people think, but I'm going to take BYU.
I know BYU's kind of got this quarterback that they all like hype him up, saying he was going to be the next Zach Wilson, and he didn't play like up to Zach Wilson's strength. But I've seen BYU play like one time, and their quarterback's pretty good. So I'm surprised the line's only -6.5. So I mean, I would hammer that line by a touchdown for BYU. That might be like a block, unless I'm like dismissing UAB too quick. But I don't know. That seems like a crazy line to me. So that might be a lock in the bag. Lock it up.
Hey, Tronti, quick question real quick before
Yeah.
this. Do you remember in like 2014 or 2015, UAB lost their program, and then they did all this fundraising. They fought the school. They got it back, and then it was supposed to be like they were gonna like run college football because they got all these like Alabama transfers. They got all these JUCO transfers. They got like a Nike deal. They got all these uniforms and this super sweet stadium and stuff. Like, whatever happened to that? What, like, 'cause I remember there was the dead year in between when they got brought back and they could have football. They had a whole dead year, and they had like the #1 recruiting class in CUSA, the #1 JUCO steals. Like, they had all this hype. They had so many like former 4 and 5 stars that went other places coming to them, and like they were supposed to build this powerhouse, and I feel like nothing ever came out of it.
Well, I know their first year back, they won Conference USA. I know that.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they went to the Boca Bowl and they won that. And then they just got a brand new stadium. We played there this year. It's actually beautiful. I mean, I don't know. Are they moving conferences? I don't even know. Everybody's moving conferences. I can't keep track of who's going where. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're solid every year. They're pretty solid every year. They're really good this year. They have a really good defense.
Part of the reason why they didn't keep the train going was because it was kind of like a hype thing at first. Like, a lot of people, they were getting a lot of media coverage and like all this new stuff, so people want to jump on the hype train before, like, they stop. No one really talks about them anymore.
Yeah, probably. I mean, when they first came back, like you said, they got all those transfers and everything. But I mean, that was what, 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah. I mean, those guys are all done. And then you think about Alabama. I mean, recruiting wise, all the good kids from Bama are going to Auburn or they're going to Bama.
Yeah.
And then you got Troy still. You got South Alabama, who's becoming a better program now. So the recruiting battle is probably a little tough in that region as far as getting to stay and go to UAB. But I mean, I think they're definitely on the rise. They're a good team. They got a really good coach. So
yeah, next game we got the Lending Tree Bowl. Jesus Between
Christ.
Eastern Michigan coming in at 7-5, Liberty coming in at 7-5. This game's also on Saturday the 18th, 5:45 p.m. kickoff. Liberty of -9.5. I don't really have anything to say on this. I just think Liberty's going to win. I think they're a better team. I think the MAC sucks, and Malik Willis is a great quarterback, and they also have Hugh Freeze as a head coach who definitely knows how to win these kind of games.
How many MAC teams have made a bowl game?
They all do, bro. They all go 6-6 and beat each other.
Literally, that's so true, though.
Yeah.
Very true.
That's like the
Eastern
Pac-12.
Michigan? Get the fuck out of here.
Bro, if you look at the Pac-12, every single team is 7-5. They all beat each other. So we're all in agreement on that. We're all riding Liberty.
How did FAU not make a bowl game?
Don't ask me, bro. Don't ask me.
Couldn't make the Lending Tree Bowl? What the fuck?
I don't know.
Hey, if we were in the MAC, we probably would have been a lot better, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, would have ran the table.
So next game, this game's actually kind of fire. Is the Jimmy Kimmel LA presented by Stifle Bowl? That is just so ridiculous. Utah State coming in at 10-3, playing Oregon State coming in at 7-5. This is a Saturday night game, the 18th on ABC 7:30. Oregon State coming in at a -7. Tronti, what are we thinking about this game?
Dude, I like Oregon State. Oregon State, I think, is a sneaky good football team. Record doesn't show it. The Pac-12, everybody kind of beat each other, but they got some pretty good wins this year on their schedule. I know they beat USC. It was kind of a disaster right now. I know they just got Lincoln Riley, but beat them pretty handedly.
Beat Utah.
They had some wins that were not that impressive, but overall, I think this is a sneaky team. Oklahoma State, they played pretty tough. It was a little closer than the score showed. Ended up losing 52-36, but I mean, I like Oregon State. I like Oregon State to win this game. I know Utah State just won their conference. I mean, Oregon State did beat Utah earlier this year, who's ranked in the top 10 right now. So I like Oregon State to win this one.
I think it's a fun game, especially because Utah State's usually one of those teams where it's like if they can catch a hot roll, they usually do pretty well, and we've seen this in the past. They coming off a huge slaughter of San Diego State 46-13, like you were saying, in the Mountain West Championship. I think it's going to be a very good dogfight. I think both these teams have something to prove, and I think they're going to come in and smash. But I also like Oregon State. I just think I think at the end of the day, that they got Power 5 players, and I think those Power 5 players are gonna show that they're a little bit better than the Utah State guys.
Yeah, Utah State kind of freaks me out, all those Mormons, so I'm definitely going with Oregon State. Utah State, I remember them going like 0-11 for like 10 years in a row. That's all I really know about them. So I like the Beavers uniforms, and I don't know much about this team. I sound like a white chick who knows nothing about football, but I'm riding Oregon State.
Yeah, they do.
At SoFi Stadium, that's pretty lit.
Yeah.
That's a cool place to play a bowl game.
Yeah.
How bad do you think the stadium in the Bahamas is? Just a quick question.
It's a high school stadium.
Yeah, it's probably horrible. Like I was looking at.
Would you be mad to play in the Bahamas?
Oh, I'd love to play in the Bahamas.
Yeah,
that's where we were gonna
awesome.
go. That's where we were gonna go.
One bowl game get to be at SoFi Stadium, and one's like.
It's all about region. It's all about
Bro,
how many fans you can bring.
When you're in a bowl game, Tronti obviously has way more to say on this than I do because I have no experience in this. But from what my studying into the sport, when you're in a bowl game that's not elite and you don't have anything to win, it's all about the location and experience. Because you're spending the whole week there. Sometimes you'll spend a little bit later after the game. Like, imagine being there with 100 of your fucking brothers and you're in the Bahamas, bro. Like, I bet you're even hanging out with the other team after, Like, it's the Bahamas, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty.
100%. It all really depends on, unless you're in the playoff or in a New Year's Six, it all really depends on like how many fans you can bring, where your region is as far as what conference you're in. Certain bowl games have only certain conferences that play each other, so that's what's like. FAU's never going to play a game on like the West Coast. Like it's just never going to happen because we're on the East Coast. Our fans are on the East Coast. Our fans don't travel well, so it's not like anyone's going to go out to California and watch us play. Like there's a lot of factors that come into which bowl games you go to, but yeah, I would totally go to the Bahamas Bowl.
No, yeah, and that there's a reason every year we make a bowl game, we play in the Boca Raton Bowl.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Boca Bowl, those people will travel. They're like, screw it, I'll go take a flight down to Boca Raton. Like, when you go to those Boca Bowl games, they're like nothing like any FAU game, even not like the – I mean, you could kind of compare it to like when we were in the Conference USA Championship game against SMU. That game was awesome.
That was the Boca Bowl. That was the Boca Bowl. That
was the Boca Bowl.
There was more SMU fans than FAU fans, though, for sure. Definitely.
I got thrown out of that game. I was hyping up. I was on the by the end zone, just slamming on it. And when we were whooping up at halftime, they're like, "Bro, you gotta go."
Yeah, let's move on to the next bowl game. We got the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. Louisiana coming in at 12-1, number 23 team in the country. Marshall coming in at 7-5. And they've got this is the last game of Saturday the 18th. We got Louisiana coming in at a -4. This is one of those other ones I think we should do. I'm going to do short and sweet. Louisiana's going to destroy them. It's their last game of Billy Napier. He's coming back. He's going to coach them for the bowl game. I don't see any reason why Marshall's going to give them a fight or anything at all. I think Louisiana is a very legitimate program, and I think Billy Napier is a very legitimate coach.
Yeah, I like Louisiana. Marshall, I know their quarterback, Grant Wells. I think he got hurt in their last game. I'm not sure if he's back for this bowl game or not, but yeah, I think Louisiana beats Marshall.
I just saw Marshall just signed Chad Pennington's son.
Meech, you're lagging hard.
He's a 3-star.
All right, well, we'll let him figure out.
Yeah, I can't hear anything he's saying.
We'll let him figure out his stuff going on. We got next game is on Monday, December 20th. Old Dominion 6-6 playing Tulsa 6-6. Tulsa a -9 favorite. I don't know anything about either one of these teams. I know Tulsa, although they're 6-6, they put up some good fights this year against some pretty solid teams. I mean, they lost to Oklahoma State by 5. They lost to Ohio State by 21. They lost to Cincinnati by 8. They beat SMU, so like they definitely have the potential to do stuff. I don't know anything about Old Dominion except my boy Espano Feliciano is a linebacker there. But it seemed like they just won the games they were supposed to win. They lost the games they were supposed to lose. I see Tulsa winning this one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like Tulsa this game. Old Dominion definitely had a great second half of their season, and I think they're going to be a really good program with their coach in the future. In the next 2-3 years, I think they're going to be really good. I know they're getting some good transfers. I like Tulsa, though. I think Tulsa plays hard. I think they're tougher than Old Dominion. I think they win this game.
You said Old Dominion got a new coach?
Yeah, Old Dominion is first-year coach.
Yeah, I did not know that. But I do know that Heineke was the quarterback there.
He was.
Yeah,
he was.
Walter Payton
back when they
Award.
were FCS.
Yeah, he won the Walter Payton Award, and I remember there being a lot of hype about him coming in. Next game we got.
What I wanted to say, though, going back to Marshall, my bad. I'm going to cut you off. Marshall got Chad Pennington's son to sign with them. And I think they're, like, one of the only teams that, like, got screwed out of going to the American Conference. So I wanted to ask you, Tronti, what's going to happen to Conference USA now? They're done, right?
Dude, honestly, I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a Conference USA, like you said. I know there's a handful that are going to the American, obviously, and then I think there might have even been a couple that are going to the Sun Belt from Conference USA.
Sun Belt, yeah.
So I have no idea what's going to happen to Conference USA. Yeah, it might just disappear.
So what I was reading, obviously, I feel like, Tronti, you'd know more as a Conference USA athlete, is that the Conference USA is taking Louisiana and Liberty, and they're also going to add Jacksonville State and Sam Houston State from the FCS. That's what they were looking to do to keep the conference alive.
Oh,
I did not know that. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to any of it, honestly. I know there's a handful going to the AAC. That's all I really know about it. I mean, I'm not going to be here when we go to the AAC anymore, so it doesn't even matter for me. But it's going to help us make a lot more money. So
yeah. So the next game we got going on is the famous Idaho Potato Bowl between Kent State coming in at 7-6, Wyoming coming in at 6-6, Wyoming a -3. And I'm pretty sure I picked Kent State on this one, just due to the fact that they played in the championship game, and I don't know anything about both these teams.
Oh, no, heck no. I've actually been to the University of Wyoming. It's crazy, dude. You drive for like 500 miles, and there's absolutely nothing. Then you get to like this little college town, and you're like going down this mountain, and you're like, "Chee." And basically you just see this old like miners town, and it's like it's sick, dude. I couldn't imagine like going out there, and they have a giant football stadium in the town, and it's like the university, and that's it. And then it's another 500 miles, nothing. And they actually have a pretty good fan base because like there's like 400,000 people in the whole state, and like 200,000 of them live around this university. So, yeah, pretty cool. Just thought I'd share that. So I'm gonna hammer Wyoming.
yeah, I like Wyoming as well. Kent State, I thought, had a good year. They lost, obviously, in the championship. I think it was them, right? They played
Yeah, they played Northern Illinois. It was a close game.
Wyoming had some good wins. They had some really bad losses as well, though. But I like Wyoming.
So this next game, if you take out the New Year's Six Bowls and the playoffs, this is my absolute favorite game out of all the bowls. I think this year they did a horrible job with creating the bowl games. We talked about that last podcast. I think this is one of the worst put together seasons of bowls, personally. But I think they did an unbelievable job with this game. The Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl is Tuesday, and we have 12-1 UTSA playing 11-2, number 24 in the country, San Diego State. UTSA coming in at a -2. So fun fact for you guys and everyone listening, outside of the two playoff games, these are the best records head-to-head this bowl season. It's the best record matchup, most wins from two teams playing in a bowl game. I've been trying to do a lot of homework on this game because these two teams mirror each other so much. It's really going to be a super fun game to watch, I think. And it's really hard for me to pick who I think is going to win, but I think I'm going to ride UTSA, to be completely honest. And the reason for this, look, San Diego State, UTSA just came out of nowhere. All right, they're usually a pretty solid team, but they're never on this level. We've seen San Diego State teams on this level before. They've had this years with Rashad Penny. They've had years where they've been very top caliber teams. running the Mountain West. But UTSA keeping their coach to a contract extension and San Diego State just getting blown out of the water by Utah State in their last game. I think the UTSA defense is going to be the deciding factor, and I think it's going to be a nail-biter, come down to the fourth quarter kind of game, but I like UTSA winning this war.
Yeah, tough game for sure to decide on. I don't know a ton about San Diego State. Obviously, I know they've been pretty consistent in the Mountain West. The reason this game isn't in the New Year's Six or it's not bigger than it is because I just don't think either UCSA definitely didn't play anybody that was really – I mean, they beat Illinois. Illinois wasn't great this year. They just really didn't play anybody. They had a great year, though. They were undefeated all the way up until the last week. I think they finished the season out on a high note, and they win this game.
Yeah, here's UTSA. San Diego State ranked 24. Yeah, they got a lot of hype out there in San Diego State. A lot of hype around both of these teams. So I'll definitely watch this game on ESPN, prime time.
ESPN Tuesday, 21st, 7:30.
Yeah, I've got no clue. I say watch and see.
Your next game. We got Missouri coming in at 6-6, playing Army, coming in at 8-4, Wednesday, 8 p.m. on ESPN. The Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl, Army coming in at a -4. I don't know diddly dong smack about Missouri, so I'm gonna ride the Army train. Do it for the troops, baby.
Army runs the triple option, which is fucking sick. It's a great offense to run if you run it correctly. Yeah, fuck Missouri. Army and the Armed Forces Bowl.
Yeah, Army coming off a loss to Navy in the Army-Navy game. I think they're going to really push it to Missouri this game. They had a great year. It's tough to stop that triple option. It doesn't matter what kind of school you're at. If you're at Power 5, if you got big guys, that is a really, really hard offense to stop. You got to be really gap sound on defense. All it takes is one gap, and it's a 50-yard gash. So I'm going Army.
100%. This next game, I honestly don't know anything about, but we'll just read it off because they deserve it. They made a bowl game. The Frisco Football Classic, Thursday the 23rd, 3:30 p.m. on ESPN. We got North Texas coming in at 6-6. Miami of Ohio coming in at 6-6. Miami of Ohio, a -3 favorite. I picked North Texas just because they beat UTSA, to be completely honest. I don't know.
How does North Texas make a bowl game?
Shoot, this is. Yeah, I mean, I don't know really anything about either of these teams. I feel like Miami, Ohio, literally goes 6-6 every year.
Every year.
I swear. I didn't see any of North Texas play this year, so I really can't comment a whole lot about what their team's like, or even Miami, Ohio. I'm gonna go Miami, Ohio, because the MAC's in a bowl game every year, and it'd be good if the MAC could get some more publicity. So go win a bowl game.
Fire.
So I count 5 from Conference USA, 4 from the MAC in bowl games. They got to take away some of these bowls. The Frisco football. All right, move on.
Who you picking though, Meech?
North Texas, because I don't know. I've been to University of North Texas too. Their stadium's pretty sick. It's like old, historical. Yeah. Let's talk some stadiums.
So the next game is actually really interesting to me. It's the Union Home Mortgage Gas Gorilla Bowl, which is in Tampa, and it's 2 Florida teams. UCF coming in at 8-4, and Florida coming in at 6-6. This is Thursday the 23rd, 7 p.m. ESPN. Florida -6.5. As someone that is born and raised in Tampa, it's gonna be a sold out game between UCF fans and Florida fans. Which goes back to the geographical thing you were saying, Tronti. They were probably just like, look, no one's going to travel for either of these teams. We might as well just put them in Florida, which is a genius idea. I think both teams are not good. I'm a huge Gus Malzahn fan. I like him. I just think it's his first year. It takes a little bit to get your own guys, get a flow, get a rhythm. But I think Florida's just a better team. They got better players. They're playing Anthony Richardson. I think Florida wins this one.
Yeah, like you said, both teams, rough year. UCF, I don't think, is obviously what they used to be. Florida obviously fired Dan Mullen. They got a new coach coming in. I'm telling you, it happened to us. I know what it's like to play a bowl game without a head coach, and there's a little bit of extra motivation. I think Florida wins this game big. And I think Emory Jones has started. Anthony Richardson's hurt, right?
Emory Jones just entered the transfer portal.
Yeah, I know, but I think he's playing. I think he's playing this game. Still, I'm not positive on that. Just what I heard from a little birdie. But yeah, I'm going Florida. I'm going Florida big. I probably got time for one more pick too, and then I got to hop off. But
you're good.
Okay, cool. Big Florida game, Raymond James Stadium. Been in this stadium too, in the
He
locker
is
room.
playing the Gasparilla Bowl. Sorry to interrupt. Emory Jones is starting the Gasparilla Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, UCF, terrible year. Florida Gators, chomp, chomp.
Chomp, chomp.
But yeah, let's just skip all these little bowl games then. Let's hop into some big, pretty good ones. We got Houston, number 20, Houston, 11-2, playing Auburn, 6-6. Auburn's a -2.5. This is in the Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl. I'm gonna be honest. I picked Houston. I think Dana Holgerson is a good head coach. They had a good season this year. They went 11-2, obviously. Gave Cincinnati a good game. He was a former coach at West Virginia. He's played big games like this. You also have I don't even know who's playing. Is Finley playing quarterback for Auburn this game, or is he hurt?
I think he's playing.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't even think Auburn knows what's happening over there at Auburn. You know, they look so lost every time I watch them play. So I just think Houston's got their shit together. They're going to go in there and win the business.
Yeah, this was a tough game for me to decide on. I looked at this game for literally probably 20 minutes just trying to decide. Like, I don't know who to pick. Like, Auburn is Auburn. They had some good wins. The only thing about Auburn is that I feel like they never perform in bowl games. They lost to Northwestern last year. UCF beat them, 3-4 years ago.
Wisconsin got their first bowl win off of them in like 5 years.
Bowl game.
Yeah, they're a good bowl game team.
So, I mean, Bo Nix just entered the transfer portal. I know he's hurt and wasn't going to play, but I mean, Bo Nix is he's like a legend in Auburn. His dad played there, everything. So that's probably shaking some people up. I'm going to go Houston. I think they're ranked. They're going to be motivated. They want to beat Auburn. Auburn never shows up. I like Houston.
Yeah, I was going to say what happened to Bo Nix, but that's news to me. Entered the transfer portal. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, they're pretty raw, so I think they could beat them in Alabama, though. That'll be a home field advantage for Auburn for sure, but I don't know. It should be a good one.
Tronti, can we snag you for just one more? Tronti?
Yeah, let's go one more.
All right.
Let's go one more. Sorry, my thing was frozen.
No, you're good. This one I actually think so. It's a little under the radar, but I think it's a super, super good matchup. Is the San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl between number 8-4 UCLA and number 9-3, number 18 in the country, NC State. I think this is two teams that had similar style seasons. They had a lot of up on the roller coaster and they had a lot of bad downs. I think they're going to match up extremely well. I like Dorian Robinson, whatever his name is, at UCLA, but I also like the quarterback at NC State. So it's going to be a good game, man. It really is. I think it's going to be high scoring, bad defense, and I think NC State's going to win the shootout. I just think they're a better overall team put together.
Yeah, this is another tough one. I went back and forth on this one as well. I know UCLA, some ups and downs, some good wins, some not so great games this year. NC State, I loved the way they played against North Carolina this year. I know North Carolina wasn't as good as everybody thought they were going to be, but love their head coach. I like NC State to win this game.
Meech?
Yeah, NC State. They're pretty good. I haven't seen UCLA play. I think I caught maybe one NC State game. Yeah, I'll go NC State. In San Diego again, though, so I like those home field advantages in bowl games. That's a big thing, I think. But
UCLA doesn't travel well, though. They can't.
Yeah, they don't even have a home field at their own home field, bro.
I mean, they play in the Rose Bowl. It's tough to fill that stadium up, but I know they don't get a ton of fans. So,
bro, have you watched?
Yeah, like in LA, even for LA fans to travel to San Diego is like a trip. But I know like LA, if you ask anyone there, like half of them are UCLA fans, half of them are USC fans. So they do have a big fan base, historic program, and you're not going to get a lot of NC State guys coming across the country.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Have
think
you
it'll be
seen real quick before you go, Charlie? I'm sorry to keep you up.
No, you're
Have you
good.
seen a UCLA home game this season? They put these giant UCLA banners.
Where do they play at the StubHub
They
Center?
make it like a fourth of the size, so it sounds way louder. And then they do like a panoramic, and there's just giant banners taking up like a whole section of seats.
Where do they play?
They play the Rose Bowl.
Really?
Yeah, they
I mean,
go
okay.
to the Rose Bowl.
Damn. Okay. Well, fuck me then.
Hey, but Tronti, thanks for coming on, man. Sorry
Yeah.
you had to hop off, but thank you for everything you've done for FAU football and everything as well. Real quick before you go, if you could just tell, if you had to tell a high school senior going in to play college football right now, one thing to get him on his mindset right for college, what would be the one thing you'd recommend?
Shoot. One thing I would recommend is probably just don't forget about the process. You know, when you get to college, you want things to happen so quick. You want to be starting right away. You want to be, you know, on all these lists for whatever, how well you play during the season. Like, just remember it's a process. It's not going to happen real quick like it does for a handful of people in college football. You know, it takes time. It takes time. The redshirt year is very important. Like, just always stay the course and work hard, and everything will happen the way it should.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on, Tronti. Looking forward to hopefully getting you on again soon.
Yeah, 100%. I appreciate you guys.
Of course. Have a good one, brother.
All right, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. All right, Meech, we're gonna wrap up real quick. We'll finish off with the New Year's Six Bowls, and we'll tap into the college football playoff when that gets closer. We got coming to the first one, the Valerio Alamo Bowl between Oregon, number 14 Oregon 10-3, number 16 Oklahoma 10-2. This game to me is really fun because both teams just lost their head coach. You know, Cristobal for Oregon going to Miami, and then you got obviously Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma, going to USC. I think this might be the most fun game to watch because this is going to be high-scoring, nonstop battle. It's going to be a lot like Oklahoma State, I think. But at the end of the day, I'm taking Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma is going to study what Utah did to abuse Oregon, and I think that their high-powered offense is just better than anything Oregon's seen this season.
There's no way Spencer Rattler plays in this game, right?
Yeah, no, he's gone. Caleb Williams is going to start.
Yeah. It should be a shootout. I wonder what the over-under is.
I think it's 61.
Shoo!
Yeah, 51.
Yeah. 61. That's crazy.
I'm low-key going to take the over, though, because if you look at it points per game, Oregon scoring 31.5 and Oklahoma scoring 38.5.
That's insane. Yeah, big over game. But 61's a crazy one to hit the over on. But yeah, I bet the over's like 62. I bet it's 62 points scored in this game. Book it. What else? Duke's Mayo Bowl, North Carolina versus South Carolina. You at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, 11:30, ESPN. Who you got?
So it's a 9.5 favorite for UNC, right? You got Sam Howell's last game. Mac Brown's gonna be sad. UNC just had a fire recruiting class. I'm riding South Carolina, dude. They just got the huge transfer from Spencer Rattler. They also got the huge transfer from Oklahoma's tight end, as well as they have Frank Beamer's son as their coach. If you don't know who Frank Beamer is, former Virginia Tech coach who used to have a very historic time there in the ACC with Virginia Tech. You don't think his son's asking daddy how to beat Mac Brown and UNC? Come on now. They got a solid defense, and they're a very legitimate team. I think it's going to be a boring-ass game, but I think South Carolina is a more legitimate overall program and football team this season. I think they're going to bring it to UNC.
Rattler's going to South Carolina confirmed, huh?
Confirmed, pen on paper.
That's pretty lit. Yeah, that's a good bowl matchup, North and South Carolina.
Rivalry action, keeping it in the Carolinas as well.
Yeah, that's sick. Whoever set that up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna ride the SEC South Carolina Gamecocks.
100%. Now, this next game is a little interesting. The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl between number 12 Pittsburgh coming in at 11-2, your ACC champions, and number 10 Michigan State coming in at 10-2. But as of yesterday, Kenneth Walker leading rusher in Michigan State, arguably should have been a Heisman person, an invitational, wasn't. Just announced he's not playing in the bowl game.
Oh, really?
It's like 98% of their offense. So I think Kenny Pickett in Pittsburgh, they're going to struggle a little bit with this strong Michigan State defense. But I think Michigan State's offense is going to go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And eventually Kenny Pickett's going to pick up a rhythm and just get them moving. I like they have a -2.5 for Michigan State. I'm taking Pittsburgh 100%.
Yeah, Pitt is legit. They are legit. Like their best team since probably Darrell Revis like 20 years ago. But yeah, Michigan State, I didn't know their running back was out. They've run the same offense for the past 20 years, basically pro style, run the ball. Yeah, I think Pitt has a legit defense, and playing at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, they're going to run them up. I think, this will be another boring game too.
Yeah.
Boring defensive battle. Take the under.
Now, you know what game is not going to be boring is our next New Year's Six Bowl is the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl between number 9 Oklahoma State coming in 11-2 and number 5 Notre Dame coming in at 11-1. I think this is a very evenly matched game. We have Notre Dame coming in at a -2. I think Notre Dame takes it away, though. I like Mike Gundy. I'm a huge Mike Gundy fan for Oklahoma State. He just has a tradition of shitting the bed right before things go great for him. We saw that in the Baylor game. I think it's going to happen again here. I think their quarterback is doo-doo. They don't have anything to move against this Notre Dame defense. As well as I think Notre Dame's going to come in fucking fired, bro. They're going to come in pissed off. They were one upset away from being in the playoffs. They just got a new coach. They got the guy that they wanted. I think they're going to come in and they're going to put their foot on Oklahoma State's neck, and they're going to run the scoreboard up on them, and I think they're going to prove a point. I think Notre Dame's going to come in there to prove a point.
Yeah, I'll take Notre Dame for sure. Like you said, Oklahoma State, I feel like they're always almost legit, but not legit enough. They can never get they're always right there. They always get like one crazy upset and then they shit the bed and you're like, it's Oklahoma State, not Oklahoma, or you know what I mean. But
I know.
Notre Dame, once again, most overhyped team in college football. Fuck Notre Dame. About 0.01% of their fans actually went to the school. But I'm going to shout out KP, big Notre Dame fan, also fake fan. And, I think Notre Dame beats them for sure.
We got 2 left. So we got one I'm about to say that I don't think is that good, and then another one that I think is the best game, including I think it's the best game of the year. So the first one, we got the Rose Bowl between number 11 Utah, Pac-12 champions, coming in at 10-3, and number 6 Ohio State coming in at 10-2, who lost to Michigan to go to the Big Ten championship. I think Ohio State coming in at a -6.5. I think Ohio State bullies them. I think they absolutely bully Utah. I think Utah, all they did was win out of the Pac-12, which is sorry, and then upset an Oregon team who's overrated. I don't think they're anything legit. I don't think they deserve to even be in this game with Ohio State. I really wanted to see Ohio State Notre Dame. That's what I wanted to see. Didn't happen. But I think Ohio State's going to come in there pissed off that they're not in the playoffs, and they are going to violently, absurd bully them in this game. I think Ohio State wins by 17.
Yeah, Ohio State's going to wreck them. That's not even a fair matchup, in my opinion. I don't know how Utah's ranked 11th. Get out of here.
With 3 losses.
They put them in the Rose Bowl. They could have thrown Baylor in there. Or
they should have done number 6 Ohio State and number 5 Notre Dame. That's what they should have done.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. Why would they put Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl?
The reason why they're doing it the way they're doing it is they're trying to do a mock playoff. So they did it. So if it was a playoff, the 7 plays the 8, the 6 plays the 11. That's how they did it this year.
That doesn't even make sense because it's not a real playoff. But
no, I agree. But yeah. So this is the last game we're going to cover because, like I said, we're going to do the playoffs separately because it's just such a big deal. There's so much to talk about, and obviously there's a lot of time until that happens, so things can altercate with injuries and stuff. So the last one we're going to cover today, in my opinion, is the best matchup game of all these games. I think this is going to be the most fun game to watch, and I think it's going to be I think it's the most evenly matched up game, and that's our All-State Sugar Bowl between number 7 Baylor coming in at 11-2, winning the Big 12, and number 8 Ole Miss coming in at 10-2. Matt Corral's goodbye game. I think this game is everything you want to see in a college football game. You have 2 super cool coaches in Dave Arnada at Baylor, Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. You have a great quarterback in Matt Corral at Ole Miss, and then you have one of the best linebackers in the country at Baylor. You have a Baylor team that has a very legitimate defense for being a Big 12 team with an offense that's run very professionally, and you have one of the most electric, fun offenses in college football in Lane Kiffin and Matt Corral and Ole Miss. It is such a good game. The odds are even. It literally says on ESPN, even. That's how good of a game this is. Wow. I think that it is going to be a super, super, super close nail biter. I'm looking at like a 17-17 halftime. Looking at going into the fourth at like 24, 27, 27. I think Ole Miss takes it barely. Would not be surprised if Arnada brings in some clutch coaching to beat Lane Kiffin. I just think Matt Corral he's just electric. And I think that this offense might overwhelm Baylor. But I think if you are a college football fan, this All-State Sugar Bowl is a game you do not want to miss.
Yeah, I got to ride Kiffin and Ole Miss after a disappointing season at Ole Miss. Kiffin has turned the program around just like he does basically everywhere he goes except for the NFL. Yeah, that's pretty cool that there's an even line on this game. Don't be surprised if it goes to overtime. I'm going to take Ole Miss in double overtime. Kiffin's going to run some trick play, go for 2. And them boys are going to walk off the field at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. Sugar Bowl winners, baby. Hotty toddy.
Hey, Meech, thanks for coming on, my brother. Everyone looking forward to watching some awesome college football bowl games. Like I said, we will also drop some college football playoffs. I have a special guest up my sleeve coming on for that one. Don't you worry. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's go bowl season. Meech, happy holidays, brother. We'll talk again soon. Everyone else, happy holidays. And go hug your family. Go love your loved ones. And most importantly, watch some good college football and some playoff NFL. Thank you guys for coming on. Tronti, thank you. Everyone have a good holidays.
Peace.